Hello everyone, good morning. Sandey Adelajah here. Niyo Lushola, Baby Undum, Obi Ojimadu, Bosse Fanyajola, Elizabeth Ali, Rochelle White, Tiger Depre, Laulu Olaoye, Ayodeji Solomon, Apostle Yomi Onadipe, Mashu Esong, Eric, you are back. Flair Karim Matip, Terry Samuel, Tokumbo Talks, Davidenko Yuri, Mayowa Precise, Jot Idowu, Ojekwa Israel, Victoria Kwitkowska, Ayodele Oguntoyinbo, Fumi Adeose, Mary Christ Apoyo, Omolade Taye, Abi Kosh, Ufuoma Anigoro, Noel Ogushuku, Arlene Paradise, Ayodele again, Esther Koganja, Sondema, Lamont Banks, Winifred, Akwan, Ikifa Akenebire, Helen Otto, Enoch Adolfo, Juliana Davison, Emmy, Yomi Faneye, Ekongomba, Julius Michael. Well, everybody, it's a good time for us to go and share the link. So I want to ask everyone that is watching today to go look for your link share button. Let's go look for our share button and share this link before we could start to teach. So please go back to your timeline, find your share button, and let's go ahead and share the link. I want to continue the topic like I promised to do last night. I promised to continue the topic on joblessness, answering critical questions about my teachings. And like I told you yesterday, that there was a lady that got in touch with me and was answering some very potent questions, some very interesting questions. And I like questions. If people don't ask questions around me, I said they don't need me. I leave them. I go away. So I'm not one of those leaders who don't like questions. I love questions. So this lady took advantage of this and threw me some pretty interesting questions. One of the questions I tried to answer yesterday was, about what should those people who are not working do? What should the people who are not working do? And then I mentioned something else yesterday about the fact that, by the way, if you have not gotten your own copy of the book yet, Who Am I? It's on Amazon, it's on Okada Books, so get your copy. So, the next question that I want to answer today is a very, very interesting question. She told me, this same lady told me, that in Nigeria now, that the economy is so bad. The economy is so bad that, according to her, even the government said they don't know what to do. And she told me a particular situation, a state. She's from that state. That particular state, the governor says he's going to send people home from their work. He's going to send the government workers home. And what that means is that he's going to let them come to work only for 2 days or 3 days. And then, they could go and do whatever they want the rest of the day. So the workers are going to be sent home. And I heard that another state or other states, the workers come to work, but they don't get salary. And so what is better? Is it better for them to be coming to work and not be paid, or to be sent home and only come to work 2 or 3 times a day? I mean, a week, 2 or 3 times a week. So, these governors wants to send people home, and the people are frustrated. People don't like it. So what is my opinion about this, and what is my solution? My response was a shocking, a rude awakening to this, my sister. Why joblessness is a blessing. I told her, wow, that is the best thing that could happen to those people. They're sending them home. They're sending them home not to work. Wow, great, great, wonderful. That is one of the best things that could happen. That they will not have to go to work every day, that they will only go to work 2 times a week or 3 times a week. Woo, wow. Great opportunity, great opportunity. I hope that I have a book that I've written, it's in Russian, and somebody is helping me to work on the editing right now. And once that book is ready, you will discover that joblessness, to be retrenched from your work, is a blessing. And the book is going to be called Life is Opportunities. Life is about opportunities, or life is all about opportunities. And I hope that one will come out soon as well. But right now, why do I rejoice when I heard that the people in that particular state are going to be sent home to not to come to work most of the week? I only come to work 2 or 3 times a week. Question today: why is a governor that is sending his people home should not be cursed? Why is the government that cannot provide job is not a tragedy? Well, for most people in my country and in most countries of the world, people think it's a tragedy. People think it is tragedy for government not to be able to provide job, and people think that joblessness is a tragedy. And I'm coming to you today to let you know that for a man of understanding, that kind of situation, when you don't have a job, when you have to be retrenched from your work, and when government cannot provide a job for you, that is not quite as bad as people think. As a matter of fact, it might be one of the best things to happen to any human. It might be one of the best things to happen to anybody. But before I go ahead today, if you are from Nigeria or from any country, I want to hear your opinion first about what you think concerning this dilemma. When the country cannot provide job and the governor is saying no salary, so instead of you coming here to waste your time, go home and do anything you want. Just come to work twice or thrice a week. So I want to hear your opinion about that. Please, could you write something? I want to read what you people write first. I want to know where you are but don't write what I expect to read. Don't what you think I will expect to hear. Write what is in your heart, what your emotions are, and what the country is thinking. I want to hear the populist opinion before I give my solution. So if you could write something about that, right now, that would be good. And while we are writing, if you have not shared your link yet, if you have not shared the link to this message, please go ahead and share the link. Go ahead and share the link. Go look for your share button, and you could share this link before we proceed. Okay, Nkem DK is saying joblessness doesn't automatically mean idleness if you understand the principles of time and how to use it wisely. Okay, you are giving answers based on what I just taught you. But what is your natural response to a situation like that? If you are from that state and your family is being retrenched, what will you do? Sent back home, no job? Okay, Carla Van Nierkerk says, you can't work on empty stomach. It will be difficult for them to work with no pay. Okay, that's good. Lamont Banks say, you have time to use entrepreneurship skills and start your own business. Okay. Albert, Dombrowski too say, what do you think about people already? Okay, that's another question. That's not answering my question. Robert Kinnison says, I love your stuff, but I've been raising my son by myself since he was 3 weeks old. I have full custody. It is a blessing for sure. A struggle, but it's the blessing in the struggle that is even sweeter than any fruit. The fruit of life is as beautiful as all humanity, okay? Okay, let's see what you are writing. Femi Oshunjayi said, my thought on this is such that if people who are retrenched from work do not have spiritual insight or requisite knowledge, they may die in poverty. Okay, thank you. Julius is from Lagos. Julius Michael from Lagos. Poverty is a mother of invention. I don't even believe that government should provide jobs in the first place. If you are retrenched, it means it is time for you to crack your brain and be man enough to start up a business. Okay? Noel Opushuku said, when the environment is not enabled for small businesses to grow, then you strive more than usual to start your business. Ufoma said, it just shows how important it is to invest in yourself and have other sources of income instead of waiting for salary. The salary paid is not even enough, and now it's not even guaranteed. Tina Stevens said, we'll start food trading with little that I have. Popola said, while it might seem painful and heartbreaking to lose a job, we are forced to think and bring up ideas when there are no alternatives. Okay? Many blessings. Say, jobs are needed for economic survival to prevent crime rate from going higher. Joblessness is a curse and not good for our increasing population. Okay? Thomas Osage says, people have been used to getting paid their salary. It will take time for them to adjust to this lifestyle. There are bills to be paid, mouths to be fed. It will be extremely difficult. Okay. Emmy Bobby said, I think this will be the best opportunity for them to develop their talent. Okay. Nkem said, that will be my perception because I'm a hardworking person and hate idleness and laziness. I will come up with ideas on what to do because, okay, I got that. Olukayo, they say, even majority of those who are already in Nigerian government services are practically doing nothing, earning free salaries. There is need to independence and skill development that will promote. Okay. Elijah Elvis says, I've been jobless since I graduated in August last year. I wasn't bothered about it. I was keen to having myself develop personally. Okay. Victor Ramirez, I believe not working gives you the opportunity to know yourself, unplugging from what truly matters and tuning back into your own spiritual life. Okay, Shioma said, people have been not been paid for months. How do they feed? Okay. All right, I'm hearing all your opinions. All of them are very strong, and everybody is convinced about their own opinion. And I think it's great. So let's continue. What do I think about this whole thing? What do I think about it? Well, I think that by the way, number one, it's a bad thing for a government not to be able to provide jobs for its citizens. I think that it's a bad thing for government to openly admit that they are helpless to provide for their own citizens. I think it's a shame. and it is embarrassment. It is a national embarrassment. But as an entrepreneur person, or as a person with an entrepreneurship mindset, and as an illuminator and as an economic empowerment coach, I think I will not see this as a tragedy. I think I would rather see this as a blessing, a great blessing in disguise. And I don't want to just see it as a blessing. This is not going to be philosophical teaching this morning. This is going to be a teaching. In fact, Shioma, you have unearthed something deep, because this is going to be another 1 week long teaching, if you can believe it. Let me tell you some of the things I'm going to be teaching, and so that you will just have an idea. Okay. So today, I don't know what will come what day. Okay. I will follow. I will see how you respond, and your responses will help me know what I will talk about first. But if you want, you might want to write down these topics, these titles that I want to address. Number 1, I will talk today about why joblessness is a blessing. Then tomorrow, or any of the days, I want to address the topic, the next topic I want to address in this series is to let people know that the life's only currency. I want to talk about life's only currency. Life's only currency. How you get hard currency even if you are unemployed. How to have access to hard currency as an unemployed person. How to have access to hard currency as an unemployed person. And how to have possession of any amount of hard currency. So that is one of the topics I will be talking about. I don't know, maybe it will be tomorrow. The next topic I will talk about will be why work is God's great investment in you. Why work is God's great investment in you. Another topic I will talk about will be how to turn your time, or how to turn time into concrete product. How to turn time into concrete product. Next thing I will talk about, how to become great through the power of time, or through the currency of time. How to become great through the currency of time. Next thing I'm going to talk about, those who waste time eventually become wasted. Don't waste time not to be wasted. Another topic I will talk about, time, a major difference between the rich and the poor. Another thing I will talk about, are you wasting your time on earth or investing it? Another thing I will talk about, how life must be lived. Life must be lived in speed and focus. Another thing I will talk about, how do you live your life effectively? Another thing I will talk about, how to best use your time, or how to best manage your time. So a lot of things that I need to talk to you about, and I don't know what are the topics. Should I start with this topic of today, or you have other suggestions? Or is there any other topic that you want to suggest with that I start with? So, Shioma, you see all the problem you put all of us into? because of your question. One question about joblessness is creating a whole myriad of revelation and insight. I didn't sleep till this morning preparing all these messages. I didn't sleep till this morning preparing all these messages. I'm here to go to bed. I'm here to go to bed because I finished with you yesterday, went back home and started getting my thoughts together and came out with how many messages? Maybe 10 or so messages. I like that. Somebody just said, this is a Bobo John. How to turn time into concrete product is what he wants. He doesn't care about joblessness. But Joti who said we should start with the topic of today. Nkem also said we should start like the topic of today. Then Elizabeth said we should start with the topic of joblessness. Mercy said we should start with the topic of joblessness. Okay, many more people are saying joblessness. Lamont Bank said we should start with the topic of joblessness. Jonathan said we should start with how to manage your time first. Okay. Wow. Let's start. Many more people are saying we should start with the topic of this morning. We should start with the topic we intended to start with. Why job is a blessing. So take your pen. Sorry, somebody is writing something here. That's so look at your day, Kundayo. We are glad if you will address all these topics, all these issues, but I assure you that I will start a big campaign to address the topic after you. Wonderful, wonderful. So, okay, we are starting the topic of this morning. Why joblessness is a blessing. I want you to write concrete. I will be giving you concrete steps, concrete arguments, and you please take your pen or just listen, recording, and let's start. Number one, if you have listened to my teachings on the laws of money and financial freedom teaching, they are on my blog, SandeiAdelajaBlog.com, video blog or daily broadcast. You will see that I spoke about a phenomenon that is called Uncle Sam syndrome, the Uncle Sam syndrome. And I said in that teaching that one of the ways that Uncle Sam enslaves us and one of the reasons why we become slaves to Uncle Sam is because of job and the desire to make money or to get salary. So job and salary is one of the greatest. I also spoke about another teaching that is called How the World System Enslaves You. How the world system enslaves you. That also, they have made the point that job and salary is the greatest slavery that you could sell yourself into. So when therefore you lose your job, if you understand that topic very well, that the world system enslaves through job, that salary and looking for job and employment, that it is one of the greatest tricks of this world system to put you under bondage and under dependency and to prevent you from living your own life and to prevent you from pursuing your destiny, your own calling, what God actually called you for. So anybody who really understands that topic will know that to lose your job, therefore, is a great opportunity. It's one of the greatest opportunities and one of the greatest things that could happen to you. Why is that a blessing? First of all, because it sets you free from the controlling mandate of your work. Secondly, it sets you free from the ownership of your boss, of your director, of the job owner, of the job giver. Number three, it releases you to begin to think with your head. Instead of you just, doing your work, carrying out your job and just going through the process of working and going to work, you will begin to now think of what you can do by yourself without just, going to work and following the rules. Next point, when you lose your job, it's an opportunity, an awesome opportunity for you to look inside yourself and to begin to discover yourself. Next point, when you lose your job, you become the owner of your life. Next point, when you lose your job, you have the wealth of money. The wealth of time rather than the wealth of money. All money comes from the wealth of time. But I will talk about that later. Let me keep on making my points. Why is losing your job a blessing? Because you come face to face in touch with the greatest wealth that is existing today, that is in the world today. And that wealth that is existing, which is greater than the wealth of money, is the wealth of time. It is the first thing that was created by God. And it is the material from which everything is made. Everything came from time. Life itself is a product of time. As a matter of fact, time is the material from which life is made. Look at this cloth that I'm wearing. This is a material right here. I'm wearing a t-shirt. I'm wearing a t-shirt. But cotton, cloth is what I'm wearing. Cotton is the material from which the t-shirt is made. The material, the cotton, therefore, is time. And the product is the t-shirt. Life is only the product. The material from which that product is made is called. If you break down life into pieces, let's say this is life, and you take it to the laboratory to analyze it, and you break it into pieces, you will find out the material that makes up of life. The material from which time is made up, if you take it to the laboratory, you will discover that is day, night, day, darkness, light, day, hour, minutes, seconds. That by the time you break down life, that's what you get. Day, light, morning, evening, hours, time. So time is the essence of life itself. So when you are fired from your job, you are given the material through which life is made. You are given access to time, which is the material through which all life is made up. It's like you are given an access. It's just like saying, we are saying Nigeria is wealthy and our money is coming from petrol, from oil. But here comes somebody and say there is no more oil, but I'm giving you the oil field. No oil, but there is oil field. So there is oil field, a lot of oil in the oil field, but there is no already extracted oil. Somebody who is looking for a job is like that person that is looking for already extracted oil, ready-made oil, just for him to go and sell it. Why somebody that is given time or that is fired from his job is given an opportunity to own the whole land, the whole, no, what do you call that land? The whole oil block, the whole oil field. It is like saying you came to a restaurant and they told you there is no food. There is no food in the restaurant, no food today. But they tell you, look at the fridge. The fridge is full of products. No food in the restaurant, but you can have the product. I mean, you can have the fridge and you can have the kitchen. Take a hold of the kitchen and the fridge with all the products in it, with all the meat, all the everything. So the person that is going away disappointed and crying and saying, there is no work, no food today. This government is bad. Everybody is bad. No food. What will I do? And going and saying they want me to starve and die of hunger. The problem is not the fact that there is no food that is ready in the restaurant. The problem is that either he doesn't know what to do with the fridge and all the material in the fridge, or he doesn't have the strength, or he doesn't have the desire, or he's just too lazy to think about what to do. Of course, it's better when you come to the restaurant and everything is ready. But what if nothing is there? Is that tragedy? No, it's a blessing in disguise, because then you'll be able to cook what you want. Then you'll be able to, prepare, your own menu. Then you'll be able to do anything you want. You'll be able to do how much amount you want. Then you don't need to pay for it. Patrick Christian says, I am crying out of laughter. I am laughing so hard I'm crying. I understand you. I understand you, Patrick. He said, from crying to laughter. This is because you got my thought. You understand what I'm talking about. You are there. Patrick, you getting my idea. You are a good thinker. You getting my idea. It is from crying to laughter. Because if that is what job is supposed to be, loss of job is supposed to be. The loss of job is supposed to be from crying to laughter. And let me prove that to you. Don't just believe me. Let me prove that to you from the Bible. Let me prove that to you from the Bible. Many blessings say this is mind shift. It's a mind shift. Yeah, well, that's why you must listen to Pastor Sandey more. Every time you listen to this list of God's servants here, you've always been experiencing some mind shift or the other. And I told Shioma yesterday, because she was so sad about what was happening in that country, in Nigeria. And she was so sad and burdened and said, Pastor Sandey, the country is falling apart. The government doesn't know what to do. The president doesn't know what to do. The governors are laying people off. I said, you are asking this question and you are thinking tragedy has happened to us. But I am here, one person. When I come on television and I say, one person, know how to resolve the problem of Nigeria, people look at me and say, maybe he's lost his mind, or maybe he's just pompous or arrogant, or, how could a human being talk like that? But you wait and see. One individual, will fix the problem of Nigeria by the time I get there. You just need to pray that God should let me go from here as fast as possible. Because I only need 5 to 10 years to make Nigeria the pride, not just of Africa, but of the world, the wonder of the world. And I'm going to do it without being a politician, without being a president or anything. But God should just release me on time to go and get the job done. So I told her, instead you are crying, the whole country is crying, and they don't know that there's a human being, one person, that can provide answer to the calamity of that country. And if I say it, they will not believe it. I can resolve the problem. Okay, just let's take one problem of unemployment. I said I will prove to you, just on the basis of that, that I can resolve the problem of country. Let me tell you how to resolve the problem of joblessness. She said, oh, do you tell me now? I said, no, let's take it public. Let's take it public. I want to do it on television, on live recording on live stream. Let the whole world hear me. So that you will not be the only one to believe me. Let anybody, it is recorded. So that you will see and you will follow all the teachings I will do, and you already had the topics. I will prove to you in a period of 2 weeks of 1 month, I'm going to be talking day and night, morning and evening, about all these things and how to resolve the problem of unemployment and joblessness in Africa. You'll be shocked. You would, in fact, you yourself will become the solution. You yourself will discover that it's not a problem in the first place. Because wisdom, every house is built by wisdom. If wisdom is in place, you can resolve any situation. So I told her, Nigeria is crying, everybody is crying and weeping, but they have a son of the soil, somebody who is Nigerian. I said, I am Nigerian. I have the Nigerian blood in me, and I have the solution to the problem of unemployment in that country. And nobody will believe it. Or they don't even know I exist. And I can bring solution to their calamity. Me alone. By God's grace. Somebody said, no, not, but that's too pompous, that's too prideful. But maybe God, you with God. I said, no, leave God alone in this thing. Leave God alone. God is in me. And it's in you too. God is in heaven. He has given us mandate to manage the earth. I'm going to do it for him. And we should be able to talk like that. Leave God alone, don't trouble him. He has already given us everything that is needed for us to manage the earth. He has already invested himself in us, his life in us, his resources in us. Anyway, let me start by proving to you that for you to be unemployed or for you to be fired from your job is the greatest blessing you could have, because it gives you face-to-face access to all the greatest life resource you could have, which is time. And time, I just spoke to you that time is life itself. So if you are giving life itself and the material from which life comes, you have been given that material from which life comes. It's just like being given that oil field, or being given that fridge and the kitchen and all the utensils, and you are still complaining. Let me prove this from the Bible. Let's look at the Bible, please. Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 to 10. The Bible says, in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void. So things were bad. So how did God resolve the problem of voidness and, without formness, darkness that was upon the face of the earth? And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light. You see, Spirit of God moved. That's what we need. The Spirit of God is already in me. And it's already in you too. If you know how to work with him, you don't need to ask God to come from heaven anymore. God has already done his own. He says, sit down at my right hand. Don't worry, your church will fix it. The rod of authority will come from Zion. Or you will rule in the midst of your enemy, not by you coming from heaven again. No. Sit down. He said the Spirit moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. Okay, now follow closely, because everybody, when you ask people, what is the first thing that God created? People will always give you different answers. They say light and everything. But that is not the first thing God created. So let's see. God said, let there be light, but light was not an end product in itself. And light is one of the products, is one of the material that is being released to produce something. So he said, let there be light, and there was light. So there was light, but God didn't stop there, because that was not the product he was after. So what was the product he was after? And God saw the light, that it was good. Okay? Even though the light was good, but still that was not what God was after. And God divided, see what God is after now. God divided the light from the darkness. And God called I'm sorry, guys. Somebody intruded from another social network into my Facebook. Sorry for that. Can you hear me now? Am I back? Satan didn't want people to hear this. Satan is a liar. Satan is a liar. Can you hear me now, guys? Am I back? It was frozen, but is it back now? Yeah, it's back. Good. Okay, I stopped at the fact that God said, let there be light, and God saw the light, but the light was not the end product that God was after, you see. That was it's just like saying you want to prepare a stew, and you bring water, but water is not a stew yet. It's not soup yet. You want to prepare soup, and you bring the water, but water is not the soup yet. Then you bring some ingredients and all that. These are just ingredients. But what you are after is the soup. So God brought about, the light. He said, let there be light. The light came, and God saw that light was good, but it's not the thing he was after. So because light was not what he was after, he kept on the process of creation. So he said, and God saw the light, that it was good. Verse 4, and God divided the light from the darkness. You remember what I told you about the material from which life is made? Material from which life is made. Material from which life is made. And I told you that if life were to be taken like this cloth, that this clothes, let's say this is life, it's so beautiful, you see, it looks lively, it looks like life. It's wonderful color, you see. This is the product, the end product, that's life. Now, I said, if this is life, that the material from which this t-shirt was made is called cotton. Cotton. Then, cotton is the real source and the real material from which life was made. So all other things were added. The color was added, the painting was added, the strengths were added, the buttons were added, the shape was added, the design was added, everything. But the real core material from which this life was produced, or what the clothes was produced, is the cotton. Such is life. Life as a material. By the time you break down, if you take life into the laboratory and break it down, you will discover that the material from which life is made up is a combination of light and darkness. We just saw it here. Light and darkness. Day and night. Morning and evening. Hour, that is into minutes, that's broken into minutes, into seconds. By the time you put all that together, you discover this is life. Life is made up of time. Time is the raw material from which life is made up. Time is the raw material from which time is made up. And I don't want you to believe me. Look at it in the Bible. God said in verse 4, saw that there was light, but that was not life yet. And God said that there was light, and it was good. Even though it was good, but God was not finished. And God divided the light from the darkness. What does that become when God divides light from darkness? Day and night. Day and night, which is a day. Which is a day. So life is coming together from the division of light and darkness, day and night, which becomes a day. And verse 5, and God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. That's how we got life. First day, second day, third day, and all that. So time is the greatest wealth. So when someone is de-employed from his job, when someone is dismissed from his job, he's fired, he's not tied down to, let's say, he's a secretary, to doing secretarial work and work. When you are doing secretarial work for 8 hours a day, whatever job you are doing, it doesn't matter, or computer work, or paper work, or money work, or it doesn't matter what job you are doing, you are tied down, your focus is tied down to that job. 8 hours a day, you must be concentrated in what you are doing. So you are 8 hours a day engaged, going forth and down, running up and down, doing the same thing. You don't have time to even know that time that you are giving out, that 8 hours you are wasting, that is life in itself. But by the time you go to that work for 8 hours a day for the next 20 years or 30 years or 40 years of your life, if you started that work at the age of 20, by the time you finish 40 years later, you're already a pensioner. They send you to go and die. What has just happened to you? But you are going to work. You are just used up your life. So what is a job? Let me tell you what a job is. What is a job? A job is a deal whereby you sign a contract God give us understanding. A job is a deal whereby you sign a contract to sell out. You sell out a bit of your life every day. You sell out a bit of your life piece by piece every day without you knowing it. That's the way the world system was formed and was created. But God created it differently. We are not supposed to live for a job. We were created to live for work, to work for living. Work, but not job. Because when you work, work is created for it to be an instrument through which you work and release your potential. Work is an instrument that you are given through which you work and fulfill and bring to pass the purpose for which you were created. Work is the instrument that you are given through which you are supposed to fulfill and carry out your life mandate, your life purpose, your life mission. It's a means, it's an instrument through which you bring yourself to fulfillment. You carry out the divine assignment for which you are sent to this world. But when you go to job, when you get a job, you are not working for your purpose. When you get a job, you are not working for your calling. When you get a job, you are not working for your, for your destiny, for your life mission. When you get a job, you are admitting that you are an indolent. You are admitting that you are insolent. You are admitting that you don't think, that you cannot think, that you cannot develop your own potential. You are admitting that you cannot think enough to walk on your own field. You are admitting that you cannot, and you are not willing to cultivate your own ground. You are admitting that your calling is not important to you, and as a result, because you don't have a calling, or your calling, you are saying you don't have a calling, whereas you have, or you are admitting that your calling is not important, or you are not interested in your calling. So you are now going to bargain that, okay, I don't have anything to do with my life. My life is wasted. So I want to bargain it, and I want to exchange it for a piece of money, currency, for a piece of money. So I am going to sign a contract that I will give you 8 hours of my life, not time. That's why I felt like crying, because it's actually exchanging, it's breaking your life into pieces. It is actually, what is a job? It is breaking your life into pieces, breaking your life down, cutting yourself into pieces, 8 hours a piece, and giving your life every day, giving out your life every day in exchange for some pennies. So you say, I will give 8 hours of my life in exchange for some pennies. Give me break, I'm going to break myself down. I'm going to destroy my life. I'm going to sell out my life So that's what happens when you work for 8 hours. It doesn't matter for what company, but you work for 8 hours for the rest of your life, for the next 30, 40 years of your life. You discover that you get old. Why did you get old? You are just going to work. You got old because you are giving out. It's going. That life, that 8 hours you are going, is leaving you. It's leaving you. You are giving that 8 hours out every day, and you are becoming empty. What did I say? So, let's say this is your life. God created you with a full life. Full life. And then, this is... Oh my. You are very close. Hello guys. I hope I'm back. So let's say this is your life here. Full life. God gives every one of us full life, a full life. So this is your full life here. And then you got education. You got to be adult. Somebody invested some things in you. Your parents invested time in you. You invested time in yourself through education. And then when it was time for you to begin to, use this life and multiply. What the purpose of God was that with this your life, you are supposed to be productive. Be fruitful. Multiply this life that is here. Multiply. Be fruitful. Be multiply, increase, multiply, and fill the earth. That is what life that God has given unto you was supposed to be for. But instead of you using this life to create fruitfulness in the purpose of God that He has called you to do in your calling and destiny, you are giving that life in exchange. You are going to bargain it out. You are giving it out in exchange for a job. So you are saying, okay, I will give you. So you are pouring down your life. So you work for 1 year, your life remains like this, or a few years. You see, it's becoming empty. For every year you work, or every day you work, you are emptying your life. You work for another 1 year, your life is empty. You don't know it. Physically, you are still the same. You look the same. You talk the same. Your name is still the same. You look as if you are going on. You are getting some petty things to live. You get a car. You get salary. You get a house. You get children. But you are going. You are going. You are dying. That is why God didn't create us for jobs, but He created us for work. And that's why, because work is what you use to multiply who you are. This thing that is disappearing here is not supposed to be disappearing. It's supposed to be multiplying into another bottle, it's supposed to be multiplying. But when it's work, when it is your destiny, that's why you must cultivate your land, your promised land. You must cultivate it, and you must be productive, be fruitful and multiply and increase and fill the earth. That is what life is supposed to be about. But when you are giving it out, when you go to job, you sign a contract and you are selling out your life. When you work for another year, you see, your life is going, and you don't even notice it until it's almost empty. Until it's almost empty, or until it's gone altogether. Until it's gone altogether. By the time you discover it, you are 50 years old. And at the age of 50, you only have this left, or 60, and they tell you they don't need you anymore. Go away. Go away and go to pension. They send you on pension. That means they send you to die. They send you to die. And you only have a little bit of life left, but now your body is so weak. Your body is because life is gone. Well, the more life goes, the weaker the body becomes. When the life goes, the body becomes weaker. So because your life, 40 years of your life has been removed, or 50 years of your life has been removed, has been given out as bargain, you have sold it out, or 60 years of your life has gone, the little life that is left is not enough to give you enough strength to work or to do much things that when you are full. You cannot be productive anymore. You cannot multiply anymore like you used to be. And so the next thing that happens is that you are totally empty in pension. You go, your body doesn't have energy, doesn't have life energy anymore, and that's why we say they die. And we go and throw this body in the ground and go and, bury it and say the person has died. This thing's coming up. So, na poni t-shirts, na palavina. So are you back? Am I back? Can you see me? Okay. Now, let me continue my illustration. But let's say you got fired from your job. Let's say you got fired from your job and you are 40 years old now, or 45 years old, or 35 years old, and maybe 50 years old, and you are fired, but you still have some life remaining. You see? You still have some life remaining. So if you are fired from your job, that means the contract that you have with your job to be pouring out and giving out your life in exchange for somebody else, to your job, that contract is broken. So that contract is broken. You have been removed from your job. You have been fired. Now you are left with yourself and your life. And you are not just left with yourself and your life. You are left with all the time. And your life is made up of time, you see. Your life is made up of time. So you are no more pouring out your life to somewhere or somebody else. You are now the owner of your life. And you now have the opportunity to think of how to make this life count, how to make this life begin to do what it was originally meant to do. And what was it meant originally to do? It was originally meant to be fruitful, multiply, and occupy the earth. Fill the earth. So now you have to begin to think how to make this my life fruitful. And the only way to make it fruitful is by discovering your calling. That's one of the ways. Now let's go ahead and let me begin to tell you how if I lose my job, which means I stop the contract of me selling out my life. If I stop selling out my life through my job, now I'm jobless. What do I now do? What now happens to me? How do I begin my life again? Okay, the first thing you need to do is you have to know. The way for you to fulfill the calling of your life is for you to know, first of all, what is the essence of your life. This is your life. This water here, this life that is in me, what was it given for? What sphere of life was it given for? What land of promise was it given for? Where am I supposed to use it? Where is this my life supposed to be invested? Because you are either investing your life, you are either spending your life, wasting your life. For example, when you got a job with that thing, you are spending your life. You are selling out on your life. Some people just waste their lives. They just go to cinema and they just live for themselves. They don't do anything. So, but they are pouring it out anyway. But you could invest it. So you need to find out what sphere of life is God asking you to invest your money to make it productive, to make it fruitful, to make it multiply. So, and what your calling is. So the first thing you must do after you discover, after you get set free from your job or after you lose your job, is to begin to use that time judiciously, to begin to use that time the best way possible. And what is the best way you could use the time? You could pack your load, go and lock yourself somewhere, and go and be using the time for yourself. The first step you must take, once you are free from job, from control of Uncle Sam, and from control of the world system, once you are jobless, The first week or the first month, don't be going to look for another job. That is vanity. That is triviality that, that makes you to be confused again. You are selling out once again, and you don't have time again to pay attention to your own life. So the first thing you need to do, once you've lost your job, please don't go about looking for another one. Don't go about running up and down. Go and lock yourself somewhere, or go to the village somewhere, or go to the forest somewhere. Take minimum food, or don't take food at all. Just take water and take tapes or CDs or recordings. Yesterday, Diepere was not there to give us the contact of how to get the recorded for you in Africa, how to get the recorded free recording of out of all these my teachings. But Ben was able to give you his contact. But Diepere is there today, I think. He can give you his email or his telephone if you are in Nigeria, if you want to get all the recordings. But the recordings are on my Facebook. They are on my blog, SundayAdelajablog.com. Go and get all the recordings for free. I'm giving you all these things for free. Go get all those recordings, especially pertaining to how to discover yourself, how to make money with your gifts and everything like that. And so go and get that. If you are in Nigeria and you don't have what they call data or data, and you don't have money for data, to find out right now who Diepere is. Diepere just gave his telephone. He's just giving his tiger. He's a tiger Diepere. He's just giving his telephone here. And please go and copy that telephone if you're in Nigeria. Write him or phone him, and he will send you for free all these my teachings. Maybe you need to pay for it. I don't know, but it's for free. So it will give you. Go and find time for yourself. Just make sure that you discover yourself before you come out of that place. Maybe it will take you 1 week. Maybe it will take you 2 days. Maybe it will take you 3 days. Maybe it will take you 2 weeks. But you must make sure that you are there to open your own eyes to what God has called you to do, to what you were created to do on the earth. Once you find that out, that is the most important thing. I have so many hours of teachings there, but you could also go beyond finding out what you're supposed to do. You might also go ahead and find out the loss of money. That is another series of teaching I did for you to know how to convert everything God has given unto you into money, or how to manage money when it comes. But, first of all, you have to start with this one, with how to discover yourself. Once you have discovered yourself, then the next things you need to do. Anyway, those things I will not say the next thing you need to do, because those teachings are there. Okay, so that's the first thing we do. That's my time is over already. That's why we stop today. So make sure you don't go and be looking for a job. Stop and find out what you should do with your life. Once you discover your calling, begin to develop that calling, add value to that calling. Cultivate that calling. Begin to develop spend a few hours every day, 3 to 5 hours every day, maybe 6 hours every day, since you are not working, to be developing your skills. Development starts by getting knowledge, more knowledge about that skill, that sphere of influence, that area of calling. Get more knowledge. Make sure that you know everything about it that is written on the earth. Make sure that, and that is easy these days. Go to the internet, go in or your calling, write all kind of questions you want. You get all the answers in your house. Devote 3 to 6 or 7, 8 hours or 4 hours, 5 hours, any amount you can afford every day. Devote as much time as you can every day to adding value to yourself, to discovering who you are, to discovering how to manage that sphere of influence, to discover, you will see or you will hear. Another thing you need to hear is a series on the kingdom series. You need to hear the kingdom series so that you will be able to know how to use it to the glory of your gift, to the glory of God as well. How to use your calling to the glory of God. But if you will need to survive in the meanwhile, and you need to make a living and just to eat and to be able to sustain your family, what you can do, take 3 hours or 4 hours, go and look for any job, even if it's going to be cleaner's job or restaurant job or whatever job, any kind of job. Just go and look for any job where that you could be just to be able to do minimum work to sustain yourself. Don't look for a job where they could pay you big salary, so that you'll be able to have car or house or something. That is not what will sustain you. It is not your job that will sustain you. You will be sustained by your calling. Your calling has everything in it. Your calling has gold, silver, onyx. It has everything in it. So you know that the job you are going for right now is just a temporary thing until you develop your skills so well and until you develop your calling so big, until you are so good enough to be able to begin to build your own platform on the basis of your calling, and for your platform and your calling to begin to feed you. But your calling will give you more than just feeding you. Your calling will multiply you. Your calling will make you multi-millionaire. Everybody's calling has the potential to make them multi-millionaire. But that is where I'm going to end today. I want you to go and share the link. Please go and look for the link share button. Go and share the link. And tonight I'm going to continue this teaching. I will continue this teaching tonight, but I want to hear from you what you are getting from this and what you got from this teaching. What did you get anything? Was it helpful or it's not helpful? Let's start with that first. Let's be here, because this is just the first step. I have like 25 steps here, and I just gave you one today. One this morning. I will give you several other ones in the evening, and every day I'll be giving you what to do after you lose your job, or how to convert your loss of job into blessing, and why your loss of job is one of the greatest things that could happen to you in life. I want to read your comments. I want to read the comments of Kike, Shioma, Fleur, and a lot of Nkem, and all of you that are writing very smart stuff. Please let me hear your comments. What do you think about this thing? Did I come across? Was I able to communicate or not? I don't even know, because you need to tell me. Was I able to communicate or not? Did it get across or not? Did you get the message or not? Was it clear or it wasn't? Okay, Nkem say, channel your energy into your God-given purpose. Being out of job gives you all the time in the world to grow. Cheryl Gadshad Leon says, go find time to discover what God created you to do. Albert Dombrowski says, yes, to work is to sacrifice what life you have at the moment. Patrick says, be set free from the evil system. Eukaria Eloebo says, this analogy makes me feel that I have been selling my birthright for a plate of porridge like Esau. Anna Leah Renee says, proud jobless for 3 years now. Pastor Kemi Onadipe said, I know I am too loaded to be giving peanuts as salary. I am an entrepreneur and believe in doing what God has called me to do, even without being paid. I am happy and fulfilled. Pastor, help deliver more people, please, from job syndrome. Ojo Olakwe said, the job contract is selling out of my life. Yes. Onubiyi James says, I hear you, sir. Noel Opushuku said, therefore, if you are working without a vision to start yours, you are of no difference with those who are unemployed. It's just a matter of time for you to be sacked and entrenched or die. Yeah. Janet says, crying for my people who are still waiting for government and all their years have gone. Nedson Wale said, isn't a job a stepping stone for ones to establish themselves? Because I have a job and secure enough capital, they can be able to start something of their own. Yes, yes. If their goal and their sight is in starting something of their own, just like I said, they could be working like 3, 4, 5 hours, while they are, working on their own thing as a stepping stone. Yes. Levi Okeke say, you are an inspiration, sir. Thank you. Ajayi Amaka say, what an illustration. Ojekwa Israel say, what a way to live life in emptiness. And most tragic is that after retirement, some just keep sitting in front of the television, not knowing what to do until they finally die. Noel Okushuku said, a man that is working and earning wages without a vision to create his own entrepreneur is jobless already, even before he is fired. The artist says, thank you, Pastor. What a valuable lesson. Esther said that was a perfect illustration. Flair Karin Matip said, want to keep your life? Then don't look for a job, look for work. Noel Oshuku said, I think the issue is how long do I work for another before I create mine? You work for another until you are sure that your own is at the stage where it is good enough to provide for you or to support you, that you are already ready to, to launch out. Nkem Dike said, yeah, if you don't work for your dreams and purpose, someone else will hire you to help you theirs. Very sad reality. Noel Okushuku said, if a group of people are working for me and receive their pay, am I not helping them? Oh, yes, you are helping them as long as they are planning to go and build their own vision and life purpose for which God created them. If they are not looking forward to just use that work as a temporary stepping stone to go and build their own destiny, then you are not helping them, you are enslaving them, and they are enslaving themselves. Okay, I want to see more of your comments. I want to see more of your comments. It was frozen. The comments were not coming for some time, but they will be coming now. The comments are coming now, so please come in with more of your comments. Let me see all your comments here. Okay, Shioma said, I will use this teaching to set men free. Amen. That's what I need. That's what I need you to do. We need to use this to set men free. Oju Olakwe Kanike Martin said, the Lord God bless you, sir. The despondency that people face when they lose their job is broken with this message. It is an opportunity to begin to truly fulfill purpose. This is deliverance to many. God bless you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Nkem says, very insightful, sir. I'm sure the minds of the unemployed and those working for Uncle Sam is being enlightened. Our minds are being renewed daily. You are taking the scriptures and breaking it down in its simplicity. So even a fool can run with these teachings, except they want to remain in that state of foolishness. Cassandra Gray said, Pastor, I accepted a friend request on Facebook from a name that it said that it was you, but it said you live in Kyiv, Ukraine. It asked your photo. Is it really you or is someone impersonating you? This is me here. I don't send friends requests. I don't send friends requests. That is from a fake impersonification of myself. It's an imposter. So because I already have a full internet, you know the way to find out that if they are fake or not? Look how many friends they have. If they have less than 10,000 friends or 5,000 friends, that's not me. If they have less than 5,000 friends, of course it shouldn't be me. Why should I be opening new something every week? So they are impersonating me, of course. Shuku Mori says, don't make a job your assignment. Rather, make your life assignment your career or a job. Cheryl said, no job since 97. God did not leave me. I'm a Sunday school teacher. Ekun Thompson said, this is a J message. I don't know what J is. A J message. Pastor, please ask your staff to make posters with your picture, preferably these nuggets, and share. Sometimes the little nuggets drive home. Okay, why don't you help us to do that? Do you want to volunteer, Ekun Thompson? Do you want to volunteer to do it? You know, my staff, I was really busy doing other things as well. So if you want to volunteer, please. I understand what you are saying, the quotations, the nuggets, yeah, but you know, time. We have so many things to do nuggets on as well. Tommy Shidoze David said, I need more of your teaching on dealing with joblessness. Yes, that's what I started with, that I'm going to be doing that every day, twice a day. 7:30 a.m. Nigerian time and British time, 7:30 a.m. and 7 p.m. Nigerian time in the evening and British time in the evening, 2:30 a.m. American time, Eastern time, and and 2 p.m. American time, Eastern as well. So yeah, it's going to be every day, twice a day. Olu Olayemi Success says, Cassandra, please ignore it. It was okay. That's for Cassandra. Tatiana Shigrin, just to go to work is not only selling part of your life. It's like to cut yourself in parts for selling yourself for as long as possible until nothing shall be left. Yeah. Shuku Morris, there is a difference between assignment and a job to get people. Mangege. Wow, what a name. He said, call my name, Pastor. I just saw it. Mangege. What a name. Are you a girl or a man? Ooh, what a name. That is such a romantic name. Cheryl say, purpose with God created us. Heather Smith Norman said, I have always worked, but have been unemployed for a little over a year, feeling unimportant, but I have been filling my mind with the word of God for many, many hours a day and feel a calling from God. But I have not gotten a full vision yet of what He's calling me to do. By reading the Bible day and night, you don't find your calling unless you hear God directly. You need knowledge, you need skills, you need insight to be able to know what your calling is, Heather. So go to SundayAdelajablog.com, go to video blog and look at all the messages talking about calling. Listen to them, get skill, get yourself value products, get yourself knowledge, get wisdom. If you listen to even 2 of those messages or 10 of them, one day is enough for you to discover what you are being called to. You don't need years to discover. Or if you want, you could order this book on Amazon. Who am I? Why am I here? You discover who you are easy. One day is enough for you to discover who you are. Ashubi Aro Temitokwe says, please, who and what is Uncle Sam? My God. That's what I said now. That I have a whole series of teaching on Uncle Sam, the word system and everything. They are on my blog. SundayAdelajablog.com. You will find all this, the playlist of my video messages and of my daily broadcast. You'll find a playlist there. And you'll be able to listen to all these messages. They are there. I cannot begin to repeat them each time. Sandra said, the message was very helpful, sir. It also proves that job can really deprive one of the purpose of existence. It drains one's life and makes one to be under bondage. I am inspired with this teaching. God bless you, sir, for your teaching at the time. Herbert Agudos says, your teachings are timely. When things are falling apart, the center cannot hold. It might take time to bring people's mind back and together. Thank you for your awesome teaching. Noel Okushuku said, I am grateful, Pastor. Niyo Lushola said, I was formerly in a job that took 13 hours, 10 to 13 hours of my life every day. They gave different loans for cars, houses, etc. I left after 5 years because I couldn't even think or do anything else. Others were afraid of losing their job. Since it is secure job, but if you don't leave such job, the job will leave you one day. If you lose your job, you will not die. It's a privilege to discover yourself. Thank God I discovered myself. Tolu Amon said, God bless you, sir. Someone asked me if we all have a company, who will be working there? Why should you have a company? You don't. Not all of you have to have a company. The message is for believers in Christ Jesus, and unbelievers will work for us. No, no, no. Look, let's say we have a company. Let's say we all have a company. Let's even assume that we all have a company. I need cleaning, and you have a cleaning company. So who are the people to work in the cleaning company? The people who also are still looking for a way to get their own platform. Like I said, you take some job for 4, 5, 6 hours, or how many, maybe 3 hours a day. So there are some people who have not built their platform yet, or there are some people who need experience in that sphere of life, or there are some people who just need to learn some skills in that area, or generally there are some people who need to work. So you work, you go to a job as a temporary thing. That is the main point we're making. A job is a temporary thing that where you just survive temporarily while you are developing yourself to build your own platform and to get fully fledged in your own calling. A job is also a place where you go to because you need to be faithful in another person's thing. A job is another place you go to as well just because you need to get some skills that you don't know. A job might be also something that you want to go to show to learn from the skills of the person that is giving you that job. So there are it's not that job is totally useless, unnecessary. It's a temporary need that you might need sometimes, but it's not something that you should do for the rest of your life. You shouldn't substitute your destiny for a job. That's what I'm saying. Your destiny shouldn't replace, your calling shouldn't be substituted for a job. A job is just a process that you could use to learn, but it's not your calling. Your calling is what you are made for, to work in your field, in your area of calling. Ekundayo, look how they said, a man with a vision and a passion can never be jobless. He will be extremely busy and also empowered many others, just like Pastor Sandey said. Okay, Tiekuro Koripamo. Thank you, sir. God bless. God's purpose for us is to create. Yes. Blessed. Kate Engin said, I will run with this and take back my life. Thank you, Pastor Sandey. Deborah Abiona said, how do I know what God has called me for? Go to SandeyAdelajablog.com and go and listen to all the series on that topic, or go to YouTube, Sandey Adelaja Official. Cornelia Yeboah said, to get a job equals selling yourself, your life into someone's else calling. God bless you, Pastor. Nedson says, we have the patience to work for 40 hours a week, but can't spend 3 hours on working on ourselves. Only then will we be able to realize how much time we waste on making other people's dreams come to pass instead of working on ours first. Yep, that's so true. Deborah says, I do know you are hearing God. Thank you. Noel Okushuku said, all we need is a system to identify them that are trained through their vision of entrepreneurship and directly and practically take them to the bank of industry and give them the loan directly. I don't understand what that is. Mangege, I'm a pastor for 12 years. I have not gone to my country. I'm living in Austria I'm praying to get safety, traveling safety. Ekun Sami Thompson said, Pastor, I'll find a way to do some picture nuggets as you suggest, requested. Time indeed is tight, but I will have a way. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. And if you do it, send it to me. My email. My email is pastor@godembassy.org. Shuku Mori says, if we are all heirs, who will be the tail? Bishop Oyedepo answered that question. He that is not among the head will definitely be among the tail. So strive to be among the head or remain among the head. Thompson said, Dolapo, you are welcome. I know you are free from this, but I am talking about this a whole year. I've invited you. Okay, I don't understand that. Fleur Karin Matib, I understand better now. Time is not money at all. Job is money, and time is better than that. It is gold. Time is gold. It is life. Your illustration was so impactful and realistic, Pastor. What a frightening experience. What a frightening experience. We are losing our lives seeking only a job. Job is truly a thief of life. Work is the best tool to add value to our life.